Today I'm going to show you a way to be conversational in Spanish as soon as possible. You can do this with any language, but of course, I am a Spanish teacher and you are learning Spanish, so let's start. Basically, what we are going to do is like to answer questions. The more questions you are able to answer, the better, okay? So let's start. And you can be really creative with this. Try to see this as a game, okay, like as a tennis match, the questions and the answer, the questions and the answer. So, and you can learn grammar this way in a natural way. Okay, so let's start. For instance, if I ask you, like, what do you like to do? Okay, remember, Spanish is my native language, so maybe I'm going to make some English mistakes, but in Spanish it's going to be perfect. Esto va a ser, ¿qué te gusta hacer? So now try to answer, ¿qué te gusta hacer? I'm going to give you my answer. I'm going to create, maybe this is true or not, who knows? I'm going to say, me gusta correr en la playa, for instance, okay? But let's try to break down this sentence. We are going to say, me gusta, then the verb, correr, y luego lo extra, okay? So here we're going to put like pronombre, okay? Me gusta, después el verbo, which is really important. Me gusta correr. Y aquí vamos a poner complemento. Me gusta correr en la playa, for instance. Okay? You could say, I don't know, me gusta estudiar español, in your case. Okay? So you will have a questions, ¿qué te gusta hacer? Me gusta estudiar español. Me gusta correr en la playa, por ejemplo. Okay? But if I ask you, what do I like to do? ¿Cómo dices esto? What do I like to do? We're going to say, ¿qué me gusta hacer? So as you can see, I like es me gusta. If you like, te gusta, right? And then infinitive verb. You don't have to conjugate. So this way you're learning grammar. The most important thing is like try to use your own sentences. Let's say you like to listen to music. Okay, so how are you going to say that? Me gusta escuchar música, por ejemplo. Me gusta escuchar música. You could say that. Me gusta correr. Like that. Okay. Let's put this here. This is complemento. Always you are going to say here me gusta. But also I could ask you, maybe let's say we are going to talk about your mother or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your father, your brother. You could say, ¿cómo dices esto? What does your brother like to do? And try to use your own sentences. That's the key here. Because you want to be conversational, you're going to talk about yourself, right? About your family, friends, whatever. So, ¿cómo dices esto? ¿Qué le gusta hacer a tu hermano? Okay. You could say, a mi hermano. Okay, a mi hermano. Let's put it here so that we are going to have more space. A mi hermano, but this time you're going to say le gusta. Okay. A mi hermano le gusta escuchar música. A mi hermano le gusta estudiar español. A mi hermano le gusta conducir su auto. His car. Okay. Conducir o manejar. So as you can see, these words are important, so you need to memorize these words. because they are important to you according to your answer. Okay? Por ejemplo, I can ask you, like, what do you want to do now? ¿Cómo dices esto? What do you want to do now? You're going to say, ¿qué quieres hacer ahora? Okay? You can learn a lot of words doing this. You can use Google Translator or DeepL, and you can create your own questions and answers. Maybe they are not going to be 100% perfect, but you will learn. Or you can have a teacher or a friend who speaks Spanish and you can play this game. A very conversational game, okay? ¿Qué quieres hacer ahora? You could say, I want, yo quiero, right? I want, yo quiero, you could say, I want to go to the party. Yo quiero ir a la fiesta. Or you could say, yo quiero ir a la playa. O yo quiero ir a la casa de mi mejor amigo. Whatever, okay? I want to go to my best friend's house, to the beach, to the party. Yo quiero to learn, aprender español faster, más rápido. You have many options here, as you can see. And the good thing about this is like you're practicing using questions and answers. Also, you can use other person like tú, ella, nosotros. Okay? Por ejemplo, try to answer this. But first, ¿cómo dices esto? What are you doing right now? ¿Cómo dices esto? What are you doing right now? We're going to say, ¿qué estás haciendo ahora mismo? Okay, so you are learning Spanish, right? Or you are watching a video. So you could say, I am watching a video or I am learning Spanish. ¿Cómo lo dices? Yo estoy aprendiendo, learning español. And then you could say with you, contigo. Okay, so as you can see, you are learning how to build and structure sentences. O por ejemplo, you could say, yo estoy viendo, watching, un video en español. Okay, a video in Spanish. Or you could say, ¿qué estás haciendo ahora mismo? Yo estoy aprendiendo from you, de ti. Okay, from you. So you have many options, actually. And this is an excellent way to track the progress because the more questions you are able to understand and to answer properly, the fluent you are. And we can do this with all the grammar. ¿Cómo dices esto? What are you going to do after this lesson? ¿Cómo lo dices en español? How do you say this in Spanish? ¿Qué vas a hacer after, después de, this lesson, esta lección? Por ejemplo. So you could say, you have many options, again. You could say, tú podrías decir, yo voy, let's put this here. Yo voy a, I don't know, I'm going to learn, estudiar o aprender más español. Or you could say, yo voy a apply, I'm going to apply, aplicar este método. Yeah, I really like to do this with my students. Even I'm having a program right now where, because with some of my students we already study a lot of sentences, they have a good vocabulary, but sometimes they struggle when it comes to create their own sentences. So using this method, they improve faster because every time then, if they want to say, ¿qué te gusta hacer? Me gusta estudiar español. They already have the structure. Imagine this. Imagine if you practice these questions every single day. Then, when you want to express these thoughts, like, what do I want to do now? Yo quiero comer en un restaurante. You know, it's like a puzzle, it's like a game. It's exactly what you're doing when you are having a conversation, a question and answer, a question and answer. And also you will learn how to ask questions because most of the time during the lessons, of course, it's normal. The student is answering questions, which is perfect, but also sometimes they struggle when it comes to create a question. Yeah. So we can apply this with a lot of things. Even we can learn vocabulary using this method. For example, I could ask you, let's say, and even if you have like an affirmative sentence, for example, the shoes are black. What is the question to this? Like, los zapatos son negros. Okay. So the question would be, ¿de qué color son los zapatos? And you could say, los zapatos son negros. Okay. Por ejemplo, the sky is blue. ¿De qué color es el cielo? El cielo es azul. ¿De qué color es mi pelo? Mi pelo es negro. Ok. Por ejemplo, mi pelo es negro. El cielo es azul. Los zapatos, as we said before, los zapatos son negros. And like that, you can learn a lot of words like doing this. So let's try this now. If you understood this, let's see. So if I ask you, for instance, ¿qué te gusta hacer? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? Or if I ask you, ¿qué quieres hacer ahora? Or if I ask you, si yo te pregunto, ¿qué estás haciendo ahora mismo? So it's time to practice. You can answer these 3 questions in the comments below and see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.